Making the Nintendo Switch comfortable has been something that a lot of us have been fighting for. I personally am a sucker for design, and so the design language of the Nintendo Switch, I've said before, is perfect. I love it. It's minimalistic, it's great. I mean, I'm an iPhone user, and iPhones are just bricks. They've always been bricks. There's nothing special about them, but I love that design. So when it came to making my Switch more comfortable, I waited until 2023 to actually try. And what you see here are the only 3 options I believe are worth anything. Now, I personally have a very unique situation. Maybe some of you guys have that too. I find myself in wild places in my house. Whether it's on the floor with my kid or on the couch or up near my daughter's room because she needs me to stand outside her room to make sure that the monsters don't show up. I am everywhere and in between. And so when it comes to the portability of the Switch, it matters a lot. The winner for me, and I'll tell you how I got to this because I don't want to waste your time, the satisfye Zen Grip Ronin. Now, a couple things. One, I've passed on satisfye's grips since I started making YouTube videos. They've reached out to me. They said, we want to send you our Zen Grip. And I said, nah, it's not for me because I don't like the way this looks. And I still don't love the way this looks, but I can't deny that at this point in my gaming life, function needs to take a front seat over form. This doesn't look the sexiest, but when it comes to the alternatives, right? This versus this clunker of a thing, which we all know is better marketed than it is produced, or swapping out these guys, I can't deny it. The Zen Grip Ronin actually wins. So the first thing I want to talk about is build quality. The build quality of this is actually pretty impressive. First, we have the case. You have to purchase the case. They all make them. I mean, the Hori Split Pad Compact, you have to buy one by TomTalk, which I think is the best. The Nitro Deck has one of the worst cases I've ever used. This guy is the best case. It is absolutely robust. It has the satisfye logo imprinted on it, which I don't care. In fact, I would prefer it not to be branded, but it just shows that they paid extra for the manufacturing rather than just grab a generic case and put some stickers on it, which we saw I could just peel right off. But the case itself is nice. It is shaped like the satisfye. And when you get in here, I didn't turn off my Nintendo Switch. It's really, really soft. This is softer than the internals of the TomTalk one. And I feel like the hard shell itself is genuinely more durable. Now, when you take out the actual Zen Grip Ronin, we'll notice something, that the indents are not actually symmetrical. And that is because Zen Grip, or the satisfye grips, are made for ergonomics. They actually aren't symmetrical. The right side sticks out further than the left because the left, you have your thumb going straight up, and the right, you have your thumb needing to be lower. At first, when this was brought to my attention, I thought, that kind of design is atrocious. And then when I held it, I begrudgingly had to take every single word I said about it and eat them because while it's not beautiful, it feels the best. And so we're back to form versus function, right? This right here has, well, the most form, I guess. The button placement's in the wrong spot, but it is robust. It keeps your Switch safe. The Nitro Deck looks great. It's fine. And then we have, of course, TomTalk case filled with the Split Pad Compacts, which the function is good because it adds dockability, which is very important to me, but then you lose out on rumble, amiibo support, and gyro control, which for some people, that's a deal breaker. And so it comes down to what is really the best of all the worlds. We need to make coffee, and so I'm going to, while we talk about the satisfye grips and how they've converted me. Now, as I said originally, I was not a huge fan of satisfye's grips. Sounds great, right? If only you could smell it. Because they just didn't look good. But convenience has got the best of me because I'm someone who needs that convenience. Now, some people are gonna talk into the portability of it all. And I think that portability-wise, it's fine, right? Yes, it's bigger than the actual Switch, and it means that it's therefore not as portable, but honestly, I don't go out much. I have 2 kids, a beautiful, wonderful wife. I don't get to go out and play video games in a coffee shop like I used to. I'm at home. So the practicality of it all is actually the most important part. It's always the last few beans. All right, we should be good. It's as simple as this. Put this on, over the cup. This part is the easiest, most piece of cake part. So good. Again, this part's so easy. Go ahead and get a little bit of bloom action. Wait about 25 seconds to let the gases release and let it sit for the next minute. Now over to the Satisfye grips. How have they won me over? Well, it's simple. They're comfortable. They feel good, and the back of it is rubberized. Now, Skull & Co. makes something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner, but I never felt like it was the quality I wanted because it felt like just light plastic, hollow plastic. Well, this feels fully robust, and that's important to me. When I am changing the form factor of the very device that I think is designed perfectly, I need to make sure that when I hold it, it still is inspiring to play. I know this sounds so over the top and extra, and it very well may, that's awesome. It very well may be, who knows? But it's really important to me. That coffee's ready. This right here just works. And so would the Skull & Co. work? I guess, but it just doesn't feel good. And this guy does for the design changes that it adds. Now, I do like that you can still access the kickstand, though I will be the first to admit that in trying to access the kickstand, you can't access fully. In fact, I think the only angle that would catch it is like that is the most. Now, I don't know why you would be looking this way, but hey, you can still access the kickstand, I suppose. But really, the extra feet give you what you need if this is what you do. I personally don't play it this way. It's handheld or not, and this is dockable. All you have to do is slide it into the dock. It's pretty good. It slides in fine, and it's tight. It's a tight fit. Will it fall out? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. There isn't a problem that I find when docking this. I am very careful. Now, I've always been very careful. Just slamming the switch in and yanking it out is not something I've ever done. And I do feel that there is still a little bit of a gap. There is some pressure because you're still putting something there, but I don't feel like that it's too much. I don't feel like I'm actually bending the dock itself, especially since I have a limited edition one. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't get to say this often about products because not a lot of them are worth it, but I'm going to definitively say this. I think that when it comes to handheld grips, the satisfye Zen Grip Ronin, not their standard one, but the Ronin genuinely is the best one on the market. Do I recommend you buy it? Only if you need something like this. But if you are looking into grips, I do absolutely recommend this one. If you're not looking into grips and you're looking for Joy-Con replacements, then go ahead and look elsewhere. I think the split pad compacts are the way to go. One added thing that I think is kind of cool, though I'll never use it because I have cases for my games, is there's a little spot for your games in here if you just want to carry two. But then there's also 10 slots for games in the case itself, which is well worth it. Satisfye, you did a good job. There is a concern. Let me tell you real quick. The concern that people have is that when you take it in and out a bunch, it actually causes damage to the rails. That concern is fixed because you're not having to remove this from the handles as much. There is pressure, a good amount of pressure. I don't know what the long-term wear and tear is gonna be, but I will say this. I am confidently using this, and I have put it on. The third day I had my Nitro deck, I had switched to this, and it's still on. Can't say any accessory has been able to do that. All right, guys, happy gaming.